Hi everyone, my name is Tom Hickey. I'm the Superintendent-Director at South Shore Vocational Technical High School. We're located at 476 Webster Street, Route 123 in Hanover. And for many viewers, you may not be aware that the town of Cohasset is a member of the South Shore Regional School District and was one of the original towns to form the district in 1960. So it's fair to say that Cohasset has two high schools. We were formed in 1960 and the doors opened in 1962. Our first graduating class was in 1964. The school has grown over that time, and at this point today we enjoy a student population of about 650 students. In the early 1990s, the school built on an addition, and we now house upwards of 14 vocational technical programs. Students apply to come here, and they have an opportunity to explore and determine which career pathway interests them the most. All of our programs have a community component to it. All of our programs have a live work component where we have, whether you're in the salon for cosmetology or you're in our restaurant, or automotive students are working on your car, or maybe our carpentry students are building your shed, our graphic communication students are making your wedding invitations. Our electrical students work for Habitat for Humanity and other municipal projects. All of our students not only are learning employability skills by interacting with the public, but they are given a solid foundation of project-based learning rooted in troubleshooting and critical thinking skills. I think folks that built this school and designed this district 50 years ago had the right idea. They knew that in order to offer deep, contextualized learning in various vocational areas, it would be almost impossible for a small school district to do it all on its own. So by resource sharing, the district was born, and in the early 1980s, Whitman and Hanson joined, so we now have an 8-town district. I hope that as you see the images on this tour today, you'll get a sense of seeing students fully engaged in their learning. You will probably assume that everything is cookie cutter, but I want to tell you that it's not. There's a lot of independent thought on the part of the students. A lot of projects and activities are designed through student interest. We can still meet the same curriculum standards, and it doesn't have to be all desks and rows all the time. Our students thrive because of that. So I look forward to showing you around the school, and thank you for viewing. This is what we would call in our own school MET 1. We have 2 manufacturing, engineering, technology labs. We were recently fortunate to get a state grant to buy 6 brand new lathes here. So students in this program learn the basics of machining. Manufacturing is a viable industry in our region. Most of the employers are small employers, but one sure sign that we're heading in the right direction is that all of our 12th graders usually go out on co-op. Local employers are calling us all the time, looking for current students to fill manufacturing needs. So what you see in this program, we renovated this space over the summer, new floor, new electrical work, but students in the younger grades will learn what we would probably say is more traditional machining on these pieces of equipment. And then the equipment over here, the other end of the shop, that's computer numeric controlled machining where they learn about programming. So manufacturing covers so many areas, but the math that the students have to apply here and the design work that they do is simply amazing. And we've redesigned the program so that we have students who have an interest in other areas like electronics and drafting also get some exposure to this program as well. So I'm happy to be in our metal fabrication and welding program right now with Hanover 12th grader Cole Hoadley. Cole is a student leader here at South Shore. He's going to talk a little bit about metal fabrication, welding, and all the great work that the program does. Thanks for helping out.
Thank you. So we'll be making some flares for a boat trailer. So they're starting the layout for that. Over here we have some railings that we're making for up above on the mezzanine. A lot of people right now are working on their ATI cert, so it's two pipes coming together, beveled, and you just pipe weld that, and you make sure it holds. This is a project that a student in the junior class did for Skills USA for a sculpture competition. That's cool. So right here we have one of our freshman projects. So when they come in on exploratory, they'll do their name or a name of their choice, and it's just a real simple welding job. Most of them take it home and they love them. They keep them forever. I still have mine actually.
Cole, can you tell me how long do they spend in metal fab during their exploratory?
So for exploratory, they'll spend a whole week in here. They'll be in here, they'll be in Related for an hour and a half approximately in the morning, and then they'll spend the rest of the day in here doing their projects, teaching them a little bit about the shop so they get interested in it.
So they accomplish that in 5 days?
Yeah, well, they do this, and they'll do, I think, 3 other projects. We have a log, I think one's over there. We also have stick figures made out of nails, and we have a dice cube that they'll make.
Thank you.
So over here, we have a little chimenea. Over here we have some more railings being made. I'm pretty sure these are somebody's house. This is our foraging area, so this is where we'll do a lot of hammering and sculpting of metals. This right here is 2 of our sophomores working on a restoration job. There's 2 parts to this that come together. It's a great piece of art. Over here we have more of our sophomores working on their weld certifications, practicing, getting ready for welding. Right here we have some of our seniors working on a security gate for outside the 300 wing, as well as some more seniors working on tables to be used around the shop or other shops in the school. We have a couple more of our seniors and sophomores working on their weld certification, and Paul's working on, I believe, part of the security gate for us. Back here we have a bed frame that we had made for a log cabin, so it's got that nice hunting feel to it with antlers and stuff. And then finally we have some hose reels that we are making for a gentleman that is on our school committee.
Home health aid certification. Another great example later on we'll see is cosmetology. Once a student turns 16 years old, they can start earning hours towards their state board license. We graduate most of our seniors fully licensed as cosmetologists. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. I'm very proud of this program because we recently added a 3rd teacher who has a plumbing background. So students are getting experience with talented instructors in refrigeration and heating and plumbing. So in this program here, you're going to see underclassmen generally on this side of our shop area are working on individual projects on refrigeration. As they emerge through the program and they end up in grades 11 and 12, they'll also get additional experience on the far side of the program here where we have state-of-the-art boilers and burners. So they're learning all aspects of this industry. At this particular point, you're not going to see too many kids on that side because our upperclassmen are either on co-op, they do not come here during the school day, they're going to work, or they might be doing jobs around the school. Right. Cooperative education means that when a student gets employed, we help them find a job sometimes, or they find their own. And during the week that they have shop, they don't come to South Shore. They go directly to work. If their job is from 9 to 5, they work from 9 to 5. They're expected to work like any other employee. They get paid like any other employee. It's a recognition that the student has the talent and the skills to be successful. And if we're preparing them for the world of work, what better way to do that than to have them while they're still with us get that experience before they graduate. Our co-op numbers have been increasing greatly, and in our construction and automotive and manufacturing areas, like in HVAC here, our co-op numbers have been going through the roof. We're very proud of that. We're very happy that local employers are willing to take on our students, because it couldn't happen without the support of local employers. So one of the hallmarks about our school that you'd find if you came to an open house or you requested to come for a tour, our guidance department would take parents and prospective students around any time. One of the things I know you'd find in almost all learning areas, our academic classrooms, and also in our vocational areas, is the idea that while we definitely place a priority on individual skill development, we also see a need to train students on how to work as a team. We have to collaborate. Students have to be flexible, future workers have to be adaptable and flexible, and they have to be able to work effectively with people who they may not choose to work with or who may not be their best friends. So when you have an opportunity to put high school students in a program, which if you do the math with me, is probably close to 2,000 hours of direct, intensive contact in a vocational area, there's amazing things that can come out of it, including students who are well-versed to go to college and work in teams and collaborate there for further education, and also well-versed to work in any of the workplace areas that we train students on. Right now I'm standing in our newest vocational technical program, Horticulture and Landscape Construction. Our school council brought me a proposal almost 2 years ago that horticulture was an area of the local economy that local employers were saying had a difficult time finding people to enter. After doing considerable research with the school council, members of our administrative team, we concluded that it was worthy of an application to the Department of Education. And this past fall, we were granted that Chapter 74 application status, and we opened a program. So this year, right now, the 2017-2018 school year, this program is open to 9th graders. So as I may have mentioned earlier, our 9th graders explore up to 8 different programs between September and January of their 9th grade year. Students are going to explore horticulture and determine whether or not this is something that they want to major in for the next 3.5 years. We're very excited about this program, and we have very strong industry support. We can't do this without local employers. We are always looking to partner because local employers are going to keep us on track in terms of what's current in the industry, and they're going to be the ones that employ our students, either on co-op or for workplace opportunities well after graduation. Independently skilled, collaborative communicators. You saw it with Cole Hoadley back in metal fabrication welding. These are the graduates that we're putting out. We expect we'll hear a lot more about them in the years to come. Our welding teacher put these up for the horticulture teacher. So he went up, he was able to weld these on. So what these ropes are for the future arboriculture component of the program. So if you have to be trained on how to hoist oneself if you're working on a tree. So this is one of the fellow we hired for this program here is a Norfolk County Agricultural School graduate, and this is one of the early activities that he does with the 9th graders that are in exploratory, for them to take a look at how the soil settles. So soil science this is an example of an activity that could be in a science class taught by a certified biology teacher, also relevant to a horticulture and landscape construction program as well. We expect that as this program grows, we will have further collaboration with our automotive program, because small engine repair would be a component of awareness of student in this program, and further collaboration with our science department. We've got computers in this program. One might think, oh, horticulture, landscape construction, why would anybody need computers? Well, I'm sure somebody, if someone's going to pay a lot of money to have some landscaping done, they'd like it to be designed first before the customer is going to purchase something or sign a contract. So we're going to be training students in this program on horticulture landscape design software. We're looking at a program right now called Dynascape for the teacher to instruct students in this. Technology is everywhere. There is no vocational technical area. Even the ones that we would stereotypically say are old school trades. No trade exists today that doesn't have an emphasis on technology. I mean, we would all agree that our cars today are pretty much computers on wheels. So we have to adapt. The school has to adapt, and our programs, we are not preparing students for the greatest hits of the 20th century. We're preparing them to go deep into the 21st century. So this is our graphic communications program. This is a very unique program in that it has two vocational technical majors. Graphic communications as well as design and visual communication, two separate Chapter 74 programs. Students are able to get access to both parts of the curriculum. So we'll see students that are working on silk screening projects, printing projects, as well as design. So our graphic communications program handles all of our district printing needs. Right now we're standing in the paper storage area of the program. And it's also the entranceway where we have a student serving here as production coordinator. We get more live work that comes in through outside customers, faculty members, the front office, and our graphic communications program assists with design and with printing. For instance, we're talking about revising school logos and letterhead. This is the program that we could talk to about that. So we'll take a look at the shop area here. Absolutely. One of the things about a vocational technical program, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And the right way to do it is you need to have current equipment. In the case of graphic communications and design and visual communications, you need current technology. So our investments in iMacs, our investments in printing, in printers and in copiers. Down here, our investment in silk screening equipment. Our athletic programs, if they need uniforms or if they need practice jerseys, all of that is done in-house here. So students are being trained on, as you can see, this silk screen equipment here. And we also need to have adequate long-range planning to replace this equipment and buy new equipment. And we've had a lot of support from our communities as we bring an annual budget. But this is an example of a program. You cannot train students on yesterday's technology. We have an adjacent classroom over here that you can see has a bank of iMacs where students are learning design basics. So they're being trained on multiple software platforms that are being used in industry. And it's the beauty of the model we have is that they've got the contact time to do this. This is not 45 minutes or 90 minutes in and out. They have dedicated time, an entire week, between the classroom and the footprint of the shop here. If I wanted to give you an example of a vocational technical program that would be synonymous with creativity, it's our graphic communications program. In the distance here, you see a couple of students sitting at these tables. These are when I come and visit the program, students are oftentimes here brainstorming ideas. They are planning out design. They are troubleshooting printing projects. But the beauty in this program is that they are also designing works that mean something to them. They are creating something from nothing. I know that for me personally, I've had instances where I've wanted to design something for the school, and I've asked the teachers to consider me a client. I'm a client with an idea. I may have a bad idea. I may be an insistent client with a stupid idea. How are these students going to tell me nicely that I don't know what I'm talking about? That's a skill in itself. I hope that doesn't happen too often, but they do have to learn how to bring a client's dreams to reality while at the same time educating the client on the best way to do something. So they're client-driven, also creative, and that's graphic communications. Right. So here we are in the South Shore Vocational's Brass Lantern restaurant. Brass Lantern is open to the public Tuesday through Friday from 11:15 to 1:15. So we're here today on a Monday. The restaurant is closed, but as you can see, we still have students that are cleaning and prepping for tomorrow's lunch service. Students in culinary arts learn three major areas of the industry. They learn the front of the house, from being host to working the bakery case to ultimately serving customers coming in to eat lunch. And then students also learn in the back of our vocational program where they learn how to work on a line and also in our bakery area. We can take a look at some of the equipment in the back. So we're in the back of the Brass Lantern restaurant now, and if you look over my shoulder, you might think we're in the back of an industrial restaurant that you go to in town. Needless to say, we want to set up our vocational areas to simulate industry. Students are preparing for tomorrow's lunch service, and they have to be exposed and trained on all parts of the industry. And that includes students being in the dish room. That's part of the logic of why we have the program set up the way we do. Students have to adhere to safety measures. River here, he's got a hairnet on. They're trained in sanitation. And then, of course, you see students being trained by using knife skills as an essential part of the program. Specific training. And so in the back of the program here, in the distance we see we have mixers in the distance, but these preparation tables here are used for students assigned to baking. So a student could come here in grade 9 and they could explore, as I said earlier, they could explore 8 programs. And then if they choose culinary arts, they have 3.5 years where they will have exposure to the front of the house, the line for entree preparation, salad preparation, and then the baking area here in the back. So you can imagine the co-op opportunities are endless in our region, and students also get a chance to specialize. Some students here will tell you that their communication skills have improved immensely with the exposure they get working with the public every day. I cannot emphasize enough how important working with the public helps a student to mature and get them ready for the workplace.
Please do not cut your hands off now.
We've spent a lot of time today talking about the vocational technical programs here at South Shore, but I want to emphasize the last 2 words of our very long school title, and that's high school. We are a high school. We have students from grades 9 to 12, and we are a community. We reform our community every year as we welcome in students in grade 9 from our district towns. One of the most exciting parts of being in high school is being engaged and participating in extracurricular and athletic activities. So I'm in our high school gym right now, and behind me you can see banners from various sports that we've offered over the years. And I'm very proud of the fact that given our increasing enrollment, we've also diversified and expanded our athletic offerings. So we have sports in the fall and in the winter and in the spring: soccer, volleyball, football, basketball, wrestling, golf, lacrosse, softball, and baseball. And I'm very proud of the fact that we don't charge user fees for sports. We consider it an essential part of the student's experience if they want to experience it. So our athletic program has been expanding, our cheerleading program has been expanding, our extracurricular programming that's not athletic, like our drama club, our student council, student ambassadors, students who want to reach out to the community. There is a place for every student after the dismissal bell rings, and we encourage students to get involved. Now, you might think Hanover is a bit of a distance from Cohasset, but I'm also proud of the fact that we offer transportation home after these events. We run late buses every day. We run sports buses every day, so a student from Cohasset doesn't have to choose between being on the junior varsity basketball team and having to worry about how he is going to get a ride home if he might be the only one on the team from Cohasset. So we run sports buses. Transportation is very key for working families, and I know our parents, our families appreciate it, that we can continue to support their students after the bell rings at the end of the day by getting them transportation home. We're just fortunate that we have so many wonderful coaches and volunteers and advisors who can offer programming that enriches their experience here. Athletics is a key part of it.